Hi everyone, my name is Sandra. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is another brush pen review. I'm very excited for this. These are the new Scribbles That Matter dual tip brush markers. So before we open the pack, I just want to state a fact. So I don't know when the first Scribbles That Matter brush pens were released, but I remember seeing a video on Cindy Guntart-Baldo's channel about the Scribbles That Matter brush pens. So what they look like, they looked exactly like the Ohuhu markers. So they were in this kind of round tube container. There were 60 markers and they seemed very cheap from what I remember of the review. And I think one end was literally like a fine liner, like maybe a 0.4 millimeter tip, and then the other end was a brush marker. So she reviewed them and she liked them for what the price point was. I think they were really cheap. And I started looking, and the thing that kind of caught my eye, I was looking into bullet journals actually, specifically B5 notebooks. And for the record, the only B5 size I've been able to find were the Archer and Olive B5 dot grid notebooks. So I was looking on like Amazon, couldn't find a single thing. So I started going on to the Scribbles That Matter website, and it did the most peculiar thing. It transferred me over to Amazon. So then it opened up a whole new page where I could find all of the Scribbles That Matter items. So it has a whole bunch of new notebooks, which for a while there they had gotten rid of them for what I thought, like from what I thought. But they have new colors, so some of the old colors that they used to carry are no longer available. And I found these brush pens with fine liners. So I don't have the fine liners yet, but I will get them because I'm curious as to see how they work and what fine liners they're most like. I have a lot of fine liners, you guys. You should check out my pen collection video just in case you're curious. So I wanted to know what these were all about. So they were $29.99 and you only get 24 markers. So I've watched a few reviews and there aren't many. There's only a couple up right now. And I wanted to check it out myself and see what was going on with these. So it comes in this fabulous tin. Like, it totally looks like Louis Vuitton. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I just like this. It's like a matte black tin package. So the quality of this packaging is quite nice. It is matte black with these little letters all over the front, like literally calligraphy letters. It's so cute. It says Scribbles That Matter dual tip brush markers. So you open up the tin. It has this little foam piece on top, and they are, it's interesting actually because, so if I take out one of the markers, the whole barrel is colored. They're a round marker, but it doesn't have like, you know how most pens have like a little clip that you can clip onto stuff. This is just so the marker doesn't get lost, I guess, so it just stays in one spot and doesn't roll off your desk. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna swatch all the colors. I can't write the names of the colors because all it has on the barrel, it says Scribbles That Matter dual tip brush pen number 92. So they are each marked with a certain number, but there's no names. So I'll probably just write some word or hello or something like that. And then we will see how they blend. And not gonna lie, you guys, I've already tried them because I'm a little crazy like that. And I already love them. I know I love them. The tip is so nice. I haven't tried all the markers, so I mean, hopefully none of them are damaged, but they give you the most beautiful upstroke. So we're just going to get into it and I'll show you what the colors look like. So that is the color swatch. So now none of my brush pens were frayed. They were all amazing. I'm just going to compare the tip to a Tombow, for instance. So I'm going to take the two purples, purple being my favorite color, and these are the two closest I could find. So this is the Scribbles That Matter, and here is the Tombow. So the Scribbles That Matter, they're exactly the same height of the tip, but the Scribbles That Matter seems a tiny bit bigger. And I'm actually going to go to another page and just test that theory and see. So this is the Scribbles That Matter. And this is the Tombow. I'm not really sure why this Tombow is so juicy, but it seems to go down like really liquidy. And that isn't like a new marker or anything. So these Scribbles That Matter seem to be a little bit drier, but I'm okay with that because sometimes you don't really want a super juicy pen. And the other side, so if we compare the fine tip, now I already think that Tombow tips are not exactly a fine liner. Like a fine liner would be more in tune with, I will pull out my Marvy Le Plume 2. This is a fine liner to me. So if I hear the word fine liner, this is what I'm expecting. So a Tombow is obviously bigger, and this tip, I would consider that to be more of a bullet tip, to be completely honest. So I'm just going to even write that out here. So this would be a fine tip, a fine liner tip, and that is the Marvy Le Plume 2. And then the Tombow I would consider a fine tip, but not a fine liner tip. That is the Tombow Dual brush pen. And the Scribbles That Matter would be, I'd consider it a bullet tip. Because as you can see, it is even bigger to write with than the Tombow. So next we're going to see how they blend, and I'm actually going to cheat a little bit and use a Tombow blending palette. It's my favorite way to blend. And I'm going to take this really light pink with the red, actually. So I'm going to put some of the red on the card and pick it up with the pink. And it's actually really pretty, and it does clean off. So all you have to do is kind of write it on a piece of paper, and it has a self-cleaning tip. So I think that's really pretty. They blend well. So obviously they are water-based markers. I just want to try one other color. This very first color I tried, it's almost like a blend between purple, blue, and gray. I think it's so pretty. And I'm going to do that with the purple. So again, put the dark purple on the blending palette. Take this color. That's so pretty. I'm obsessed. So as you can see, they blend really well. And I personally like this tip. I don't really see it bending that much. If I'm looking at it, I could possibly see some fraying going on, but I would have to use them a lot longer than obviously what I've used them for. This is like they're brand new. I just received them today. But when I first go to make my upstrokes, I can get them pretty thin. Like that's pretty small. And as far as downstrokes go, you can vary the width of the downstroke. So that is as large as you can go, and that's me pressing as hard as I can. And you can see that the tip hasn't bent at all. So they do have a really good bounce back, which I'm impressed with. So I am using my Rhodia paper, and when I press really hard like that, it does tend to go through. So I wonder if that is the friction on the paper. But only time will tell if they eventually fray. I wouldn't mind doing some kind of like I do with my makeup, like a wear test. Like after I've used them for a while, I can tell you how they work. But I mean, considering that you get 24 pens for $29, that's really not that expensive. The colors are beautiful. For those people who like pastel colors, well, there's not that many in this palette to choose from. But this green is actually really pretty. Oh my god, I'm in love with that color. It's so pretty. Okay, and speaking of, I'm going to have to do some kind of blend with that green because I love it. I'm going to use the dark blue and the green. I know there's a lot of people obsessed with the Sakura Koi coloring brush pens, but my favorites, I think, are now going to be these and the Tombos. The Tombos have always been a favorite of mine. I love how they perform. They've never really led me astray. Oh yeah, this is so pretty. I think if you take colors that don't normally, like that have a little bit of contrast, I guess is what I meant to say, I think you can get some really pretty blends. Oh, I just want to keep playing with these pens. They're so pretty. One more. I'm going to use the dark brown and this like skin color. That's like kind of a natural look. That would be really nice for a bullet journal header or something. Let's see. If you like natural colors. And again, all you have to do is to clean off the tip and it comes completely clean, which is amazing. So yeah, I am in love with these pens. I think they perform just as good, if not better, than the Tombos. And they blend well and they are really, really nice. And I like the difference, I guess, in the tip. So I do like a fine liner. I think fine liners are awesome. But with my comparison video of the Marvy La Plume, these have a tendency to dry out and the caps don't really go on that well. And speaking of, the caps on these, some of them are like really clicky and they're really hard to get on and off. And there are others that are a lot easier. So that's interesting. The cap, if you turn the tiny cap on the bullet end upside down, it fits in the other end. This is something that Cindy does, so I like to show that on my channel as well if I can. And the other tip goes on that well, so it doesn't come off very easy, so that's good. Yeah, I'd have to say I already like these pens. I knew I was gonna like them because I don't exactly know what happened with the change, because I do know that Scribbles That Matter had brush markers out previously, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. But I am glad of the change because these are really, really super, super nice. And I'm glad that I was able to get my hands on them. So if you guys are curious, you should check out the Amazon site. I did purchase mine from Amazon.ca. And I'm really, really happy. And even this tin, you guys know that I do keep my markers stored horizontally in those cubes. I will link my pen collection video in this. It might be at the end of this video. but I love this case and I can't see myself getting rid of it because it's so cute. I mean, who doesn't love a cute case? So these are the colors. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a huge thumbs up. Also, if you're new here, I'd love if you subscribed. And again, don't forget to ring that bell notification so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. We'll talk to you guys again soon. Have a great one.